Tomorrow, of course, it's all about Bilbao as talkSPORT brings you live coverage of the Europa League final between Spurs and Manchester United. Today, it's more about the crazy journeys that fans from both teams are taking to the Basque Country. Whether you're flying, driving, ferrying or hopping in between trains, we want to hear just how you get into Bilbao for that Europa League final. 03717 22 3344. That's the number to ring. The phone lines are open. Let's start with Tom, who's a Manchester United fan. He's feeling very smug this morning. Morning, Tom.
Morning, Tom.
How are you doing? How you doing, Jeff? You all right?
Yeah, good. Why are you smug this morning?
Well, I took a punt 3 days before the 2024 FA Cup final. EasyJet put on flights from Manchester to Bilbao. It was £75. I thought we're probably going to get rolled over in the final, but he won't get cheaper than that, so I'll take a leap of faith. So I did it, and here we are, and we're going. So everyone's flying all over Europe, but I've got a nice, easy route, Manchester to Bilbao direct tomorrow morning. So, yeah, fantastic.
Oh, that's a belter. And when are you back, mate?
So I'm there Wednesday till Friday, and like with the flights as well, I booked the accommodation a long time in advance, so I've got Airbnb in the city centre, only £25 a night. He's not diddled me, he's kept the booking, so
yeah. I don't think I've ever spoken to a more organised football fan in my life.
It's sensational. You know, that's what you call foresight.
Yes.
And optimism, by the way, as well.
I've done it this way for most of the last 20 years, and when it's not worked out, there's usually been someone to sell the flight onto, or maybe get a refund, so it's generally worked out all right for me. So, brilliant. Well, do job lot, £300.
Enjoy it, Tom.
Thanks very much.
Safe journey, mate.
Claire and Steve Gill says, on the way to Bilbao this morning, we're flying to Barcelona from Gatwick, driving to Zaragoza, staying there tonight, then driving to Bilbao in the morning, where we pick up a camper van for 2 days for the love, not for the glory. They're both Manchester United fans.
Great.
By the way, we're talking about birds and whether this is the year of the bird. James in Hatfield says it's not just the birds, it's the year of the eagle, or it has been so far. Palace at the weekend, the Philly Eagles in the Super Bowl, and the Go-Ahead Eagles in the Dutch Cup. So it has been very much the year of the birds. A lot of people have said, by the way, don't forget Leeds United are known as the Peacocks.
Yeah. Mind you, talking about the Dutch Cup, what about Ajax collapsing?
Oh, I know. And did you see that if Ange goes, Spurs have been linked with the Ajax manager?
I did see that.
Or the ex-Ajax manager, as he is now.
I did see that.
Wow. Which would be curious, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Let's speak to somebody who isn't quite as lucky as Tom. Bob is a Spurs fan. Morning, Bob.
Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
We're doing well, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just popped into work to do a couple of hours graft, and then I'm off.
And how are you getting there, mate?
Well, I'm getting a train from East Croydon to St Pancras. St Pancras, 2 o'clock train, 2:10 train to Paris. Then change in Paris. Then we get to Hendaye, which is on the Spanish-French border, at 11:10 tonight. I've got an apartment in Hendaye, and then we get a minibus from Hendaye to Bilbao at 11:30 tomorrow morning. Hopefully in the centre of Bilbao, getting on it at about 1 o'clock.
Oh, great. How many are travelling, mate?
There's 5 of us going out today, but there will be about 50 that I meet up with out there.
Oh. And same trip on the way back?
No, I've got to go to, from Bilbao, I've got 10:15 on Thursday morning to Copenhagen, and then Copenhagen to Gatwick, and I get in at about 3:30 on Thursday afternoon.
Oh, brilliant, Bob.
It's kind of obvious that, Bob. Why would you not stop off in Copenhagen on the way back?
Yeah, on your way to Bilbao. You obviously would, yeah. Bobby, enjoy it, mate.
Have a great trip, mate.
Yeah. All right, cheers, guys.
Good luck.
Cheers. Ben, who's a Tranmere fan, says, Jeff, honestly, you could sensationalise a mousetrap. Don't give me Spurs and United fans flying across Europe to watch the European final. I once flew from Hong Kong on Friday morning to watch my beloved Tranmere beat Newport on the Saturday in the playoff final, and then flew back after full time to be back in work for Monday morning.
Who's that from?
That's from Ben.
The only problem is, Ben, you didn't stop off in Copenhagen and the way back to Hong Kong.
Look, let's take another one, shall we? Here's Aaron, the Manchester United fan. Morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Aaron.
Morning, boys. How are we getting on?
Yeah, we're good. You're not going via Copenhagen, are you?
Well, I might as well be. So we booked the travel before we got tickets. Very luckily, we ended up getting tickets last Wednesday night, so we're well chuffed. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it's a camel hike. We're basically driving from Belfast this afternoon, flying out of Dublin to Toulouse, staying a night in an apartment, driving from Toulouse to Bilbao tomorrow, picking up the keys for our Hills Have Eyes Airbnb in the mountains, and then hitting Bilbao city centre to soak it up and hopefully see the glorious Reds lift the cup.
Quick question, and excuse my ignorance. What's the driving time from Toulouse to Bilbao?
It's about 4 hours.
4 hours.
It's not too bad.
That's not so bad.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Same journey back.
Very quickly. Same journey back, pretty much. There's a couple of us coming home the Thursday night, so we have to go to Toulouse, drop them off at the airport, and then a few more flying home Friday. So it'll be a good trip. Very quickly, it's my son and my friend's son going. Do you mind if I give them a wee name drop?
No, of course you do. Of course.
So it's myself and my son Lennon, Sturdy and my son Kai, my best mate Larjo, my brother-in-law George, wee Sam, and my other mate Jack. We're all absolutely buzzing for it. Can't wait.
What size is the car you're driving? You need to borrow that one off the Ann Hill mob.
Ali, it started off with a car booked, and we've rebooked about 3 times. All these people keep jumping onto the trip, but we've ended up in a minibus. It's the Ann Hill mob across Europe. But
brilliant.
Right. I know you say you're going to have a great time. Just tell us, how confident do you feel?
I just had this conversation. If it wasn't Spurs, I would be less confident. Let's put it like that. They're going to Spurs it up, aren't they?
Time will tell, mate. Time will tell. Certainly looking forward to it. Have a great journey and have a safe journey, Alan.
Thank you very much indeed. Listen to these 2 routes for people trying to get to Bilbao. Neil, a Manchester United fan, says this is easy. Manchester to Barca to San Sebastian to Bilbao, flying back via Morocco to Manchester. And this...
Morocco?
Yeah, Morocco. A Spurs fan, Martin, travelling to Bilbao, says, today, Gatwick to Alicante, then Alicante to Asturias, staying there tonight. In the morning, 3-hour drive to Bilbao. After the game, drive back to Asturias, the 3 hours, get a flight to Venice, and then Venice to Stansted, all for the love of Spurs. So how are you getting there, Martin?
I've got a flight from Stansted to Valencia at lunchtime today. Staying over in Valencia tonight, and then first thing in the morning, flight to Bilbao for the game. No accommodation in Bilbao. Then we've got a flight out to Alicante on Thursday morning at 6:45, and then straight back into Stansted.
It sounds very much to me, Martin, that you're not really searching too much for accommodation for the Wednesday night. Would that be fair? Are you guys going to go right through the card?
I think the accommodation is going to be Bilbao Airport, hopefully celebrating still.
Well, they're talking about crazy prices, aren't they? Sort of 500 quid a night for a room in a hostel, a shared room in a hostel. Yes. And that's the issue with having it in. You want to spread, of course, you want to spread the big finals around, but that's the issue in having it in a smaller city, isn't it? That, you know, the city hasn't got the infrastructure to cope with a huge influx of fans. Brian is a Tottenham fan. He's midway through some journey to Bilbao for tomorrow's Europa League final. He joins us right now. Morning, Brian.
Good morning, Brian.
Morning, lads. Morning, Jeff Ali. How you doing?
We're doing good, exceptionally well. Where are you, mate? How are you?
Well, currently sitting on the plane actually at Luton Airport, just waiting to take off. So if it's a bit noisy in the background, apologies for that. The stewardesses are just about to do the announcements and stuff. So yeah, we're ready to go.
Where are you heading for? Look, I know Bilbao, but initially, where are you heading for?
This flight here, there's loads of Spurs fans on it actually. A couple of United fans as well. One of my mates, United fan with me. We're flying to Mallorca this morning. We're going to Palma, Mallorca. And after that, we've got about 3 hours to wait, and then change. We're going to Vitoria, just south of Bilbao, and then from there it's by road up to Bilbao for the day of the game.
Wow,
that's brilliant, mate. That is fantastic. I've got to say to you, mate, if I was in Palma, I might even have stayed there a wee bit longer, to tell you the truth.
I'll tell you what, Ali, we're thinking about heading out of the airport. We've got a few hours to kill. We're going to have a few beers in Magaluf, mate.
Nice.
Did you work that route out yourself, Brian, or did you get some help?
Well, what happened was I was with my mate in the pub before the Bodo, the semi-final first leg, and as you know, football fans get a bit striped up nowadays for the flights for away games, depending on results. So we were looking at it, and the problem was all the flights were going up crazy. So we took a punt, we took a gamble, and we booked our flight before the first leg of the semi-final. So we didn't do too bad. The day after the game, after we won 3-1 in the first leg, the flights actually doubled in price.
I bet. Yeah, Brian, have a brilliant time.
Have a great trip, mate. Enjoy.
Cheers, lads. All the best.
All the best.